Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. You all knew it had to happen. Once a virus or plague makes its way into the mainstream media, it's inevitable that a version of that is going to appear in the Plague Inc. workshop. And the Hantavirus is no exception. I've actually seen a few of these getting published in the last couple of days. This one seems to be making the most rounds right now, created by an author I could not possibly pronounce, but there's another version that caught my eye, apparently created back in 2021, but updated due to recent events. So we're going to try this one by Alonato. You have to destroy the world with the Hantavirus. In real life, there are two syndromes that it may cause: Hantavirus hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome, or Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. This scenario combines both, so you can affect both the lungs and the kidneys. There are some special notes in here. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and move on with it. Virus type: ATP boost, Darwinist, aquacytic streamophile, and symptostasis. Sure, I'll play a Mega Brutal. What could possibly go wrong? And for the sake of, I guess, just kind of realism in this particular case, if you haven't been paying attention to the news, we'll go ahead and start off in Argentina. I've never started in Argentina before, so I have no idea if this is going to be a good call. What's weird is, my understanding from what I've read here, the speculation is that the way this whole thing started is a cruise ship was traveling, I guess it was around the Falkland Islands. A Dutch couple went on a birdwatching tour, which took them through a landfill where there were rodents, and the Andes variant of the Hantavirus is mainly contracted through rats, but it can spread between humans, and it's very contagious and potentially very lethal. What the heck were they doing in a landfill is my question. What kind of a tour was this? Jasums! It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, transmissions, we start off with rodents. Makes no surprise at all. We also have sewers for more rodents. We have wild plants where the rodents pass through them. Then we have fomites, we have water, and we have air. I'm not sure you strictly need the air and the water in this case from a realism perspective, but for a balance perspective, I do get it. Symptoms, we start off with nausea and vomiting, plus fever, headache, and fatigue. There's also going to be diarrhea. I don't know how the heck you say this. Pyelonephritis? I don't know. An inflammation of the kidneys tissues causing a reduction of the urine's filtering and cause swelling of both hands and legs. Gross! Disgusting. You're filling with pee. We have rash, we have coughing, we have myositis, invades the muscle tissues of the host, blah, 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 and subconjunctival bleed. A word that I've never had trouble saying for some reason. Subconjunctival just flows right off the tongue. We have cold, heat, and drug resistance, violent instability, and a zoonotic shift, which could be useful, and I'm guessing is going to open up a few new transmission vectors. So let's go ahead and start by picking up wild plants. I haven't played in Argentina, but I'm going to assume, yep, it is a rural country, so that makes sense. It also has 2 ports, which seems pretty useful to me. Let's go ahead and grab some coughing to start. I gotta be careful not to get too much severity. We have a little lethality right off the bat. Rash might make some sense, I guess. We could go ahead and pick that sucker up. We do have, you know, the symptostasis. Abscesses, a little bit too much severity, but let's see, that might be good. What the heck is this? Petechiae? I have no idea how to say this either. Causes capillaries to break, producing red and purple spots made of blood. Only costs 3 DNA. That is a bit of severity, but the infectivity is better, actually, than abscesses, so I'll take it. Skin lesions, my beloved, are pretty good, and then we have hypotension. A thing that I will never suffer from because I've never had low blood pressure in my life. I'm always on the verge of being into, like, actual chronic hypertension. Like, I probably should actually be on medicine, but I'm not. Anyway, let's go for some water transmission, because with the 2 ports, I think getting out of Argentina makes sense. Diarrhea, a little bit of lethality is going to come out of that. Not exactly thrilled about it, but I mean, is okay. Let's go for the skin lesions, but I don't really want more severity beyond this. What the frick? Holy crud, we took off in Argentina. Okay, apparently your host nation has, shall we say, extreme infectivity? Jeez, that is an exponential curve and a half right there. I'll tell you what, boy, I'll tell you what. Let's go for the sewers for some urban areas. Not that we have that yet. I could see things like fomites and stuff being quite useful for us as well. Depends, but we're not getting out of here anytime soon. This is not going to be a good score run because, again, starting in Argentina on Mega Brutal, not exactly an advisable thing to do, but it's probably fine. Yeah, that severity could definitely come and screw with me. Maybe I shouldn't be starting here in Argentina. If we lose, I can always just try something else, but we'll see what happens. So as much as I would love to get additional symptoms, almost everything has a bit of severity I don't like. We could go for this. That leads to hyperkalemia. Potassium, dizziness, blah, blah, inflammation, myositis. I don't know that any of this really does me any good right now. I think we have to stick with just transmissions. We've already got plenty of severity anymore, and they're going to shut down Greenland long before I have a chance to get to it. Let's grab some air transmission, try to get on a plane, get to some other continents. We kind of sort of stuck ourselves in like the worst possible corner we could here. There's absolutely nothing remarkable about Argentina for us in this case, but whatever. Now we're getting on some planes. We should be able to start getting around. We're in Australia for some reason. That's fine. What did I just mutate? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. What was it? It was immune suppression. I don't want that. That's a bit too much lethality at this stage for right now. We'll go ahead and get rid of that sucker. More air transmission? Maybe. I'm thinking the fomites aren't bad, though. Wealthy and urban plus quite a lot of the extra DNA points. Not bad. I will be going for some drug resistance pretty much at this point, and we should go for some cold resistance soon, but we're not in places like Russia or Scandinavia or Canada yet, so I'm not sure how much good that's going to do for us. The world is starting to work on the cure, a little bit by a little bit, which is a problem, but like, we'll see. We're kicking off here in China. There we go. See, yeah, once you hit critical mass, you really hit an exponential curve here. That's interesting. All right, we're going to go ahead and grab that. I do want to get drug resistance level 2 if I can get enough DNA to make that work, which it looks like we will, so let's go ahead and pick that up. All right, so with enough drug resistance, cold resistance, blah, 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 maybe we'll be okay. Question is, can we really kick off in places like Russia before they start shutting down all of their ports? This is where getting water level 2 would probably be quite helpful. Could also go for wild plants and such, but I think at this point I'm going to go ahead and save up my points because we're going to have to start kicking off the lethality. I can already tell you. How the heck did we just jump up to like 68 freaking points? Holy crud. Cardiac insufficiency. I'm guessing that's a heart failure of sorts. The heart's muscles don't have enough strength to pump the required amount of blood for the rest of the body, which cause oxygen deprivation and death. We've also got respiratory insufficiency, very lethal, and hemorrhagic shock. Okay, so it seems like going down this route is exceptionally powerful. Please get a boat out into Greenland, like, now. What are we missing? Mostly, a lot of islands and stuff, to be honest. A lot of things are going to start shutting down here. I'm quite concerned about this. We could devolve it. I'm going to, even though I hate losing that much DNA, but we are not getting... Madagascar shut down. All right, starting in Argentina on Mega Brutal, not going to work. We're going to go ahead and restart this and start in Saudi Arabia, but... good to know that we do kick off really, really fast over here. Okay, we've got a good feel for this. I think this is actually a pretty good scenario so far. Lots of good customization going on into this. Let's go ahead and start off in Saudi Arabia. The other version of the scenario that someone created, for some reason... apparently starts you in Korea. I'm not really sure why Korea is the nation of choice, but I mean, like, okay, sure, whatever makes you feel better. Let's go ahead and pick these up. I would like getting that extra infectivity early. Might go for the abscesses. Let's just go ahead and do it. Just trying to pick something up early as quickly as we can. We have to get that air transmission stuff. I didn't think I saw anything that would spread us in heat, so that's not going to do me a lot of good. I don't think hypotension is worth keeping. That's too much severity for basically no benefit, so getting rid of that makes some sense to me. I'm going to go ahead and get what? Do we want to go for Air 2 instead of going for the water and stuff? I think the answer is yes in this case. We've got to try kicking off here in Saudi Arabia a little bit faster. I'm noticing that this exponential curve is not working as quickly for some reason, so... maybe there's something about rural countries that are like extra powerful for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, a level of water transmission will make things easier. Now we're starting to kick off. There it is. Grab those fomites. That's going to be a nice cheap way of getting around in some of the wealthier countries while I try to farm out some additional stuff. Let's grab those skin lesions. That's plenty of severity, and the extra infectivity comes at a very good time. Then we'll pick up the resistances, I think, before we do much else. So let's go ahead and pick up drug resistance, spread faster in places like in Europe. We got a Madagascar this time around. Good. I basically just have a much better chance of controlling the island spread by doing this way. So that's kind of the main reason to start off in a place like Saudi Arabia. I'm going to go for that here. We don't necessarily have to go for drug resistance level 2. It just feels like a nice thing to do. Let's go for some water transmission, boost that up a little bit further. Good in places like Russia. Probably should get the wild plants if we can at 14 DNA. That rural transmission will probably go a long way, and then that should be all we need, except for just storing up points to get some lethality once I know we're in the places I care about. So this time we're in all the islands except for Iceland, Greenland, and the Caribbean. So the USA is giving me some trouble. All right, fair enough. Drug resistance level 2 then is fine. Let's just go ahead and kick that off a bit faster here. Really need to see myself get into the Caribbean. It feels like we're a little slow in some places, but I know my sense of, like, spread is very messed up right now. Because I'm just spreading so fast, it's like, what, it's taking like a year to spread in a country? Oh, that's so slow. No, that's actually completely normal. What are we talking about? Hematemesis. That was a bit of extra severity, lethality, and stuff, but I think this is a tolerable amount, so I'm going to live with it. Do I want to go for Extreme Bioaerosol? I think the answer is yes, just to go ahead and boost up my chances. We did get into Iceland, good. So it's going to come down to Greenland and the Caribbean. All right, let's see what happens. There's the Caribbean, Greenland, Greenland, Greenland. Send a boat. That looks like, nope, that's not the one. I thought that was it. That was not it. Dang it. We have 131 DNA, so, like, legitimately, I can ramp up lethality so fast. Please send a single boat. Norway, you too. Like, I'm not picky who does it. The point is somebody do it. No? No? Subconjunctival bleed fires off. No boats. I'm watching these boats and I'm thinking, you gotta be kidding. No, that's not it. Come on. Mutation is now getting me everything basically for free. We're literally just missing Greenland here, guys. That's the one I was looking for. Okay. Do we have any sort of necrosis? Not that I've seen. I could have gone for pneumonia, by the way. That would have been fine. What the frick is this word? Thrombocytopenia? Penia? Thrombocytopenia. Huh, okay. Abnormally low number of platelets in the blood. Yeah, okay, so basically you're not clotting and stuff. Hemorrhages can get worse. Shouldn't this be over on the hemorrhages side of things? I guess this hemorrhage is basically... Yeah, I guess the kidneys were included on that. Whatever, it's fine. So we'll go for the pulmonary edema. I could go for respiratory insufficiency. I think that's fine, but I'm scared about getting too much more beyond that. I'm going to go ahead and grab basically like some genetic hardening and just try to like buy for some time here. Let's see how quickly we can spread in places like Greenland. As long as we're not quick and killing too quickly, we'll be fine. Gastroenteritis. We're getting a lot of mutations right now. I don't think I have like anything that slows down the cure now that I think about it. We don't have anything that does that, do we? No coma, no nothing like that. What about subconjunctival? That leads to internal hemorrhaging, blah, blah, blah. There's a coma. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pick that sucker up. Hemorrhagic shock and stuff I don't think that I really want and or need. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and buy some genetic reshuffles and just kind of make some time for ourselves. So we're going to be killing very, very quickly at this point. As long as we can still hit critical mass in Greenland, I'm not feeling too worried about it, and the mutations are going to give me everything for free that I think I care about. Let's go ahead and get that cardiac insufficiency and another genetic reshuffle, burning a bit more back. And the cure has slowed down to practically a crawl, because almost everyone is now just plopping over dead. So it's really going to come down to Greenland. Acute kidney failure has mutated as well. That's going to be right up over here. Okay, so hemorrhagic shock is kind of the only really big lethal symptom we can pick up. I'm going to go ahead and grab that genetic reshuffle. And I guess, I mean, it doesn't really matter what else I get. Sure, hemorrhagic shock, why not? Let's just speed it up a tiny little bit more. No healthy people left in the world. Oh, good, with only 300 people left to go. So this is what happens when you go on vacation. This is also what happens when you go in a landfill. Don't do it. Rats are bad for a reason. Oh, rats are your friend. I don't care what Pixar says with Ratatouille. No, they are not. We learned this from the Black Death. Rats are carriers of diseases and need to be destroyed at all costs. That's actually a better score than I was expecting, by the way. Much better. 352 days. We got that done in less than a year. 60% cure progress is 4,340 points. Yeah, starting in Saudi Arabia, definitely a lot easier than starting in Argentina, but it's good to know that, you know, for the record. It's just like, yeah, there's a reason I choose that every single time. Good scenario. Lots of good customization. I'm going to guess that a lot of this is actually pulled directly from some medical wikis and stuff like that. It certainly seems very scientific. I'm certainly no doctor, but I did see a lot of big words I couldn't pronounce, so that seems pretty good. It's well done, and it's topical. So, you know what? Yeah, I mean, maybe this didn't get a ton of attention back in 2021, but I'll bet you 2026 is gonna be your time. It's worth it. Give that one a thumbs up. Try the other variants as well, of course, if you want to, but as a reminder, the version I just played is by Olonato. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I'd ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.